Does it feel like what you want never comes to fruition? Or maybe the idea that you're super excited about, it just seems like nobody else is excited with you. Believe it or not, this is actually a symptom that you may have a problem controlling your tongue. And I know that doesn't necessarily make sense now, but it will. So hang with me. Over the next 3 weeks or so, we're gonna be talking about why you should control your tongue, how it's gonna change your life. And I got 3 separate points on the verse, James 3:3-5. So let's go ahead and jump into the first point, which is all speech has an aim. All speech has an aim. In James 3:3-5, it says, when we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. A bit in the horse's mouth. The ratio in size is like 1 to 20. A bit is extremely small, but it controls the direction of the horse. Likewise, the rudder. The rudder is extremely small compared to the boat. Really small. But the rudder sets the aim. So it compares this to the tongue. The tongue is small compared to the body, but it sets the aim. It sets the direction. And so if you can't control your tongue, what this means is you can't control your direction. It means you'll be aimless. And ultimately what it means is somebody else is going to set direction for you. And so when I say all speech has an aim, what I'm saying is that every time you say something, you're controlling the direction that you're going in. You know, I asked earlier, does it feel like what you want never comes to fruition? And I would ask, how often do you talk about the same thing? Is it a lot? Is it a little? Or do you talk about new things all the time? I said, does it seem like no matter how good your ideas are, nobody wants to come with you? When they look at you, do they see you excited about the same thing day after day after day? Or are you like me and they see you as scatterbrained? You know, excited about the new shiny object. All speech has an aim. Are you aiming in one direction? Or are you aiming in all directions? Because if you aim in all directions, you're aiming in no direction. You're just going to jitter in place. All speech has an aim. I'll give you a silly example. Think of the word horse. What did you just think of? You thought of a horse. What did I do? I aimed you with my speech. Now let's take this to a really broad example, something that's used every single day. Church pastors, they get up on stage, and what do? They say, here's what God says, here's how it applies to you. They get everybody to think about what God has in store for them. They get the whole room to move as a unit, to unify. He's aiming them with his speech. He gets the room together and he aims them towards one direction with his speech. That's the sermon, that's the message. Or a business leader gets his organization together and has a meeting about the vision. Where are we going? He unifies the business. He unifies his people. He gets them together and he aims them with his speech. Military leaders. Here's the plan. Here's the grounds we're taking. What is he doing? He's unifying them. He's bringing unity into the crowd by aiming all of them into one direction with what? His speech. Martin Luther King, I have a dream. The dream? Well, that's the aim. That's the destination. The speech? That's the aim. That's the aiming. It's what he used to get everybody in the crowd towards where he wanted them to go, what his dream was. All speech has an aim. It brings unity. It brings unity in yourself and it brings unity in everybody else around you. What is unity? Unity is oneness. You move as a unit. You move as one body, right? Togetherness, connection. Unity is connection. Unity is agreement. Unity is order. It's one. You move as one. And speeches bring unity within the crowd. Disunity looks like isolation. Disunity looks like disagreement. Disunity looks like fragmentation. Disunity looks like chaos. And so I would ask you, do you look like unity or do you look like disunity? Just on a personal level. Do you move towards the same goal every single day? Or do you have a new goal every day? Are you in agreement with the plan that you've made for your life? Or do you come up with a new plan all the time? Do you have order, discipline, consistency with what you do on your day-to-day? Or do you just kind of go with the flow, whatever the day has for you? Because that's going to tell you if you're moving as a unit within yourself or if you're fragmented, if you have disunity. James 3:2 says we all stumble in many ways. Anyone who's never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. Okay, so if you can say things the right way, you're going to keep your body in line, body in check. What does that mean? It means that you're not going to be fragmented. You're not going to have competing desires. You're not going to be chaotic inside. You're not going to be scatterbrained. You're going to be moving as a unit because your body's in check. Your body's in line. How do you do that? Well, you have to make sure that you control your tongue. It says if what you say is perfect, your body will be in line. So if you control what you say, you set the aim properly, then you'll move as a unit. Well, let me tell you, this is the difference between you getting what you want and you never getting what you want. What do I mean by that? Like I said, if you have all aims, you aim in every direction. The aim is just different depending on your every desire, your every impulse, whatever you feel like, whatever you're excited by. You're going to move really fast in all directions, meaning you'll never actually take a path. They'll all be half-built bridges, and you'll never actually get across. I'll give you a quick analogy. Imagine there's a hose, and you're just spraying the hose, and you're like, I need this hose to go farther. So what do? You block half of the hose with your thumb, and the water pressure pushes farther. It makes a greater distance. What'd you do? You aimed it in one direction. You said no to other directions. That's what the thumb did. And you aimed it and it went farther. That's you. You're not aimed. It says in Mark 3:24-25, if a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Why? Because it's fragmented. It's working against itself. It doesn't have unity. It's not working as one. Multiple directions. In multiple directions is no direction. So when the leader gets up on stage, what he's doing is he's trying to bring unity. Because even if it's the wrong direction, when you move as a unit, at least you can get there. And people like consistency. People like somebody who does the same thing every single day. Why? Because it's familiar. Familiar is family. They want to be on the ship of somebody who doesn't do circles. Oh, we're going here today. We're going there today. Nobody knows. Wish you'd just pick a place. So maybe the reason that you're not able to attract people to your ideas is because you had a different idea before that, and a different idea before that, and a different idea before that. And it's not that they are bad ideas, it's that you can't pick one. And the reason they never come to fruition is because you've never actually finished building the idea out. You don't make the distance. You set the aim, and then the next morning when you're like a quarter of the way there, you switch your aim up. So what do? We got to get our speech in order. We got to control our tongue. You know, you're painting the vision for people. You're painting the dream for people, for yourself, for your family, for your organization, you know, your relationships. You're painting the dream about something with your what? Your speech. You're aiming towards something. So you just need to do it for one thing. So here's a personal application that I think would help all of us that you can do today. I want you to grab a pen and a paper, and I want you to write down what the win is. W-I-N, win. Like if you got this thing, you would consider it a win. This could be as big as becoming the president. It could be as small as, you know, what you're gonna eat tonight. But regardless, it has to be a win. Once you write that down, what I want you to do is write down every single reason as you can think of as to why that goal would be worth pursuing. Every single reason. Do not stop. Just write them all until you run out. I would say aim for at least 15 to 30. Then, for the rest of the week, when you wake up, what I want you to do is I want you to out loud read what the win is, what the goal is. And then one by one, I want you to read out loud every single why. Every single one of them. Do this for a week. And what this is going to do is, since your tongue controls your aim and you're speaking what your win is, what the goal is, where the aim is, the why paints the vision, it gets you inspired, it gets you to move as a unit, and you'll start moving in that direction. Why? Because you're taking the time to aim yourself towards one goal. You're reminding yourself what the goal is, what the priorities, what the dream is, what the vision is, what the win is. And then you're reminding yourself why it's worth doing that over other things. You're aiming yourself with your speech. You're moving the rudder in the right direction. You're pulling the bit so the horse goes in the right way. Aim your speech. And I tell you what, if you do this every single day, the how will figure itself out because you'll be thinking about it anyway. If you figure out what the win is and remind yourself of the what every single day, day after day after day, I guarantee you, your mind will act like a magnet for how to get it done. So do this for at least a week. I'll leave you with this. I really struggle with this. If you look back even like 10 videos ago or podcasts ago, it's a new topic every single day. And there was like not much clarity to what I was trying to say. And it's because I struggle with, I just wanted to come out and talk about whatever I wanted to talk about that day and move on. And there was no aim, it was almost overflow. And compared to what I'm doing now, this is much more aimed. I'm trying to get my tongue under control so that I can be useful for other people, so that I can have clarity of mind, so that I can, you know, actually go where I'm trying to go. So this is a very personal struggle of mine. You know, I get very excited, and I'm good at persuading. I'll just be honest with you. I'm good at convincing. And so my problem is fragmentation. And so I'm working on this too. I'm working on it. Trying to keep my whole body in check by making sure that what I say is perfect. And so you're not alone if you've struggled with this. And I'm actually curious about updates. So if you can comment, one, is this a struggle that you've had? Two, did it help listening to this video? And three, in a couple weeks or so, how are you feeling about it? Now the next couple videos are gonna be on a similar idea, but the emphasis is gonna be on something else. So the next video will be the leader and not the follower. So the whole video is gonna be on what that means, be the leader, not the follower. And so if this video was helpful for you, I definitely recommend watching that one when it comes out. It should come out in 2 weeks. And it'll also be on James 3:3-5. So, all right, I will see you on the next one.